Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. With that, let's get over to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome with the call from New Orleans. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. Happy to be on hand. I'm Brandon Godden with Charles Davis. And before we kick, partner, your keys to the game, please.
Well, my keys are on the defensive side of the ball for both teams. And the big one, making sure you avoid giving up the big play. These safeties are going to get tested all game long. Their job, keep the ball in front of them, tackle people, make them run extra plays in order to try and score.
Now to put the ball in the air, and we are underway from the Superdome. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. There's Drew Brees as he comes out onto the field, the 40-year-old quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. He'll turn 41 in January, by the way. He already is the NFL's all-time passing yards leader. He could be the all-time NFL passing touchdowns leader at the end of this season, but he's got some competition. It's been Peyton Manning's record since 2015, but right now it's Brees and Tom Brady dueling to see who will have the top mark as we exit the 2019 season. Fun to watch down the stretch.
Ready? 5-9. Check, check. Watch me before. Watch me before. Check, 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 check.
Brees now on first down. That'll be complete to Cook. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Shotgun now for Brees. And he finds Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Ready? 5-8, 5-8. 54 Mike. Check the out, check the out, check the out.
Now a play fake here on first down. And brought in by the tight end Cook. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Check down.
Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Harrison Smith is a player I love to watch. Whether he's ranging deep as a free safety or near the line of scrimmage where he makes more plays, keep your eyes on him.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
So we got man.
Off the play fake to Kamara. It's Breeze. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
That's caught. It's Thomas. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Ready. Yellow lady. Check. Watch 54. Target.
From the gun, it's Breeze. It's Hill, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Kirk Cousins, the 31-year-old quarterback in his 2nd season with the Vikings, bringing them out the rest of this offense. And it's also the first time that Kirk Cousins has quarterbacked a team to double-digit victories. The Vikings reaching that plateau for the 2nd time in 3 years after winning 13 back in 2017. But for Kirk Cousins, the numbers have been good. 2nd straight year on track to top 70% completion-wise. Also the fewest amount of interceptions that he has had. And when you consider he's been playing a large part of this season without his Pro Bowl wideout Adam Thielen, makes the numbers that much more impressive. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, a 22.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. On 2nd down, Cook. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
For a lot of people, there are pros and cons to playing close to home in the NFL. But for Adam Thielen, it's nothing but pros. Grew up not too far from the Twin Cities, loves being a Viking, and is a really dependable 3rd down receiver.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Working out of the gun, Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 42.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. From the gun, here's Cousins. And this is Cook with the ground. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
You can say a lot of things about the great play of Kiko Alonso, but the number one thing you will say, he will hit you.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Play fake. Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Check.
They'll throw again. Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, baby.
So first possession, 4th and short. Field goal's no gimme from here. What do you think about going for it?
I'm not just thinking about it. I'm signaling, go for it. Let's get this, all right? Yeah, look, you're right. You know, the field goal's there, but it's not a chip shot. My big thing is opening drive. You're trying to establish momentum. Let's not stall it ourselves. Let's go get this 1st down and then continue on downfield and try and get a touchdown.
Like your confidence.
Yeah, why not? Let's go.
So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out, and the Saints will have the football back. CD, let's take a step back and look ahead to the Saints in the playoffs here as they get ready for this next drive. Another double-digit win season for them. What do you think of their prospects come playoff time?
I think they're excellent because Drew Brees is back in form. I got to see him late in the season at home against San Francisco, and he's magnificent in that game. Brought them back from down late in the game, gave them a chance to win, put them ahead with less than a minute on the clock, so it wasn't his fault they didn't win that game. He looks like the Drew Brees we expect, but the big reason is their defense. Their defense is as good as there is in the league, rushing the passer, defending against the run, covering everything downfield. Bottom line, though, they are built to win at home in the playoffs. Since Sean Payton's been the head coach, they're 7-4 at home in the playoffs. A lot of people would say, well, it should be 8-3 because of what happened against the Rams last year, but still 7-4. But on the road, just 1-7, and that's excluding the Super Bowl, which was a neutral site game.
And don't forget, good job by Teddy Bridgewater bridging the gap when Breeze was out. 5-0. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And complete right side to Cook. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 there and a New Orleans first down.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Breeze now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Breeze going to throw. Pitch and catch here to Cook. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
It's just me and you.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
On 4th down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker Will Lutz for the field goal attempt. This from 54 yards away. The kick by Lutz is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota Vikings coming back out as they get the football here. It's been over 4 decades since the Vikings played in the Super Bowl, and you don't know if this is going to be the year that they get back. But there has not been a lot of talk about this Minnesota team. A double-digit win season and a lot of good teams in this conference, and I feel like they're a little bit under the radar. But top 10 in both offense and defense. You got dynamic players on both sides of the football. And we'll see what this Minnesota Vikings team can do down the stretch if they can make a little noise. One thing's for sure, they've been very good at home this season. They run, Cook, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook, and he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this 1st quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On 3rd down, Cousins, and that is incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what
Put
you
your
do
foot
best.
on the gas.
Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Brees on the draw, gives to Kamara. This will go for 5 up to the 33.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Mike, ready. Yellow lady, yellow lady. Guys, it's game. What? Let's go.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They end up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Back deep is a very dangerous Mike Hughes. And this will be taken at the 13. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. They start the drive with Cook. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Tackle made there by Kiko Alonso.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
It's just me and you.
A give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
I know he ain't got it.
A 1st down throw for Cousins. And the catch made by Johnson. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. To throw is Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Cousins now already over 100 yards passing in this 1st quarter. It's 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Cook. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. He was able to escape momentarily in the backfield, but you could just kind of tell that wasn't going anywhere.
You know, in the film session, he'll get a minus for not getting him on the ground by himself. But what the coach is really going to analyze, how fast did his teammates get there to help him? If one guy slows him up, everyone else better be there, and that's what they got on that play.
Like my boy. I'm coming.
On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
Don't throw this one.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 yards, good for his Saints, 1st down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Ready? 5-9. Eat. Focus, defense, focus. Tonight.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Watch the before. Go.
On 2nd down, Kamara. Able to avoid him. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Ready? Yellow waiting. Hey, I'm coming.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now they'll throw with Breeze. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Here we go, G.
Breeze now on 3rd and goal. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Lutz's kick is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Deontay Harris deep for New Orleans. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. They give it off here to the tight end. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage.
95, 56. Let's go, defense. Hey, man up.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And they'll get him down up past the 15. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
So that last play gives him a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Brees. It's caught. Smith. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 17 there and a New Orleans first down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Breeze now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Here's Breeze to throw. Gets this one to Hill. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a Saints 1st down on a pickup of 13.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Check. Ready. Yellow lady. Check. 55 to Mike. Oh, you got deep?
On 2nd and 9, Breeze. That'll be complete to Cook. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Breeze. And Gibbs got it. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. Breeze to another longtime vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans 1st.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
Breeze going to come up here, 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Now Breeze. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Check right.
Again, it's Breeze. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Breeze now. Open man is Michael Thomas. And it's a fumble, and the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Adam Thielen, he gets set to go again with the rest of this offense. They've got to find a way to get him more involved in this game plan. Down here in the second quarter, he doesn't even have a catch.
And don't think they're not hearing about it in the huddle and on the sidelines. And we often think of wide receivers at times being disruptive. It's just that they know their talents and they know the type of plays they can make, and they can make big ones. They want the ball to help their team.
Yeah, you got to think he's going to want the ball more. One target, no catches. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. They get just 2 out of it there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, standing just outside his own goal line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief that you still have the lead, but coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. But it'll be 2nd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now Breeze. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Brings up 3rd down and 10.
The Saints on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
You got nothing.
Shotgun now for Breeze. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. take it at about the 16. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Check. Watch with the 4.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, this is Madison. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Cousins trying to get his guys up to the line of scrimmage quickly. On 2nd and 9, Cousins, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw, Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. An 18-yard touchdown grab, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. And he puts it through. They're within 3. It's 13-10. That time a 9-play drive. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Ready? 5-8, 5-8, 54. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Breeze now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Breeze now to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on third. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Breeze. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it 2nd down. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been as good as advertised, just a field goal separating these two teams as they've already made their way back out of the locker room. So to bring you the story of the second half, let's get you right back out to Brandon Godden.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And Diggs has it. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Now Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
And it's 3rd down.
Jahan, 180! 54!
On 3rd down, Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards. And you need a big play? Go to your big play guy.
Listen, that's football 101. When you have to have it, you expect that guy to step up. A lot of people call these receivers divas. Sometimes just leadership when they get in the huddle and say, get me the ball. I'm about to make a big play.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7.
Kill.
Now Cook. And he'll go down at the 28. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another first and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So now they'll come up on second and 10, once again from the 28.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
Being strong up the middle is imperative. I don't care what your sport, but in football, when you've got a D tackle who can contribute not only to occupying bodies, but also making plays on the ball carrier, that's when you have the cornerstone of a solid run defense.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first, now this from 43. Bailey's kick is good. And that's going to tie us at 13. So they come away from this opening drive in the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 24. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara, and able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Shamar Stephen there on the tackle.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
From the 27, Breeze drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Second down 6 at the 39-yard line.
Ready. Yellow waiting. 54 Mike. Man, I got you.
From the 39, Breeze. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Ready. 5'8". 54.
In your face.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain.
Mike's by 4. Pick me up. Here we go.
Check.
Breeze, a quick throw out to Thomas. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
You ready? 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. You better be ready.
Now Breeze on third down. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Breeze going to come up here, first and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Back to the ground, it's Kamara. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Ready. Yellow waiting. Here we go, team. Here I come.
Again, it's Kamara. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
From the gun on third down, Breeze. And this one complete to Smith. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. And Lutz puts this one through. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. So it's his third field goal now in the ball game, and they've needed his leg. This last one gives him the lead.
It's been a back-and-forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, need you to make this stand up because we got the momentum going in the right direction, but we need you to make sure we carry it home.
throwing the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership, been a good distributor. Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Hey, pick your game up.
Again, it's Cook. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up.
Check. Watch it before.
Play fake. Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Breeze. That'll be complete to Cook. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your quarterback? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Check 15, check 15.
They run again on first down. Cook, and this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Stay with your man.
On second down, Cook. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Madison running on first down. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter play. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints' 27.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on second down, they hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on second and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass him with a running play.
And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. Johnson's got it complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone, sometimes you're throwing it between the zones, sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Mike 54.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Cousins on first down. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. And they're going to go with the jet sweep. This is Diggs with it. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Bailey able to knock it through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Throwing on first down is Brees. And this is Cook with a grab. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Brees leaves this one with Kamara. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me. Come on.
Shotgun now for Brees. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. You don't see that a ton, do you? Where the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
And brought in by the tight end Cook. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a first down.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Now the Vikings now heading on to the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20. On play action, Cousins. He gets this one to Johnson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
One of the feature points of the end route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook, and he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Run plays like that, those big D tackles love them. That's when they eat.
Especially when they're the defensive tackles that we're watching right now that dictate things on the line of scrimmage. They can't move them the way that they want to. They're just standing up, whipping the offensive linemen and making plays.
And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. He gets nothing on back-to-back runs, so now you're dealing with a 3rd and 10 and probably a passing play.
I would agree with that, and I would highly suggest to the play caller, check a different part of that section on your play sheet, because his first 2 runs didn't help you at all. Find someone else who can touch the ball and maybe move it downfield.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. And out trots Jared Cook with the rest of his offensive mates. And partner, the defense, they were keyed in on him early, but his talent shining through as of late.
I like what you said about keyed in, because it all started in their first meeting of game planning for this game, where they went over things with their team and said, all right, this is the guy we have to take out of the game. Make sure you get enough coverage on him, all the different defenses. Sometimes you run everything you've got in the first half, and they adjust in the second half and start to play better.
And he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4.
Ready? 5-9. 54. I got one.
And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. They'll get 4 out of that, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Ready? 95-56. Watch my board. I got you.
To throw is Breeze. And Breeze is going to go down in the end zone, a safety. Well, I don't know if careless is the right word there, but bottom line, here in the 4th quarter, tie game, you can't do that.
You sure can, Brandon, and not only do you give up the lead, now you've got to turn around, punt it away from your own 20 as well. So it's really a double whammy with time starting to become a factor.
So free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. This is taken at the 18.
We play to win. Let's go.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They start the drive with Cook. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They run it again with Cook. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
You don't want this. Check.
On 1st down, Cook. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Cousins now from the 50. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Hendrickson just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That goes in the category of a play that the defense is going to cherish and excites them. A completion, yes, you give up the pass, but no gain. I mean, that's exactly what you want on defense.
And sets up the 4th down. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Working from the gun, it's Brees. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Here's Bailey now for the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 22. Now Brees to try again after the pick 6. It's caught. Smith. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Brees. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. To throw again on 2nd down. Brees throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And it's 3rd and short. Charles, I think back to your earlier statement about the visitors being the underdogs needing to win that turnover battle. And this defense, they forced 2 turnovers so far. Big reason why they lead this game.
Yeah, and I know defenses always talk about getting turnovers in bunches, getting those takeaways. 2's not a bunch, but it's plenty in this game, exactly the formula they need. And I got to tell you, partner, I like it when you think back to something I said that actually comes true, that's actually right.
It happens more often than you might think. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
They had enough yards for the 1st down, but a clutch hit right there defensively jars it free. No 1st down.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They run. It's Kamara. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. Alvin Kamara unable to push past that yellow line. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Big stop on the turnover on downs to get the football back, and now it's just all about salting this one away.
Yeah, just slowly bleed the clock away. Clock's definitely on your side. And, you know, when we talk about analytics in the game, what is this one? Advanced win metrics? Because if you take care of the football here, bleed the clock down, were they about 95% chance of winning it?
I'd say 95 or better. And I know you always say it, every coach does. It's just protecting the football at this point.
Yeah, knowing that the defensive guys, they're coming after the ball more than they are the person. They want to knock it free.
A pretty good-looking run there on 1st down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
I can't believe they even let you play.
Now Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. The Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Not today, you are. Not today.
On the ground, it's Cook. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
50. 56. Nice, sweetheart.
Throwing here, Cousins. It's caught. In the end zone, touchdown, Minnesota. Olabisi Johnson there to make the grab. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
Cousins pass complete to Olabisi Johnson. Touchdown, Minnesota.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Now Cousins going to bring his guys up for the two-point try.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time.
Now a toss coming right side. It's Cook, and he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is.
Well, partner, since this new two-point rule came into play, offenses spend a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Michael Thomas now heading back onto the field. And the stats on his game, they really tell the story. A strong start. I don't know that the defense has really changed a whole lot as opposed to maybe just sticking to that game plan and shutting him down now.
I like where you're going with that because normally we talk about adjustments and drastic changes in a game plan in order to shut someone down. But in this case, maybe they're just sticking with what they worked on all week and they're just making better plays. And so far, they've got to like what they've been doing in the second half.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Clock rolling here, about to hit 30 seconds. After the sack on 1st down, Breeze gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. One final try here for Breeze. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one, were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. Till next time, we say so long from the Bayou.